British Columbia is dealing with devastating floods, and Ottawa journalists are showing how disconnected they are from reality. Hi, I'm Brian Lilley, political columnist with the Toronto Sun. The scenes coming out of British Columbia are breathtaking, they are heartbreaking, they are harrowing, and anyone looking at it can't help but have compassion for the people, the animals, the livestock going through all of this. Have you seen the videos of people trying to pull cows out of the flooding in any way they can? People are fighting for their lives and the lives of the animals that they live with, that they rely upon, and it is breathtaking to watch. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau isn't in BC for the flooding. That's not a bad thing, actually, because he would simply draw resources away from where they need to be. But I'll give him credit. While he's on an important mission to Washington, having meetings with elected officials in the United States, important for the whole country, he is not only making sure that he is briefed and updated on the situation in British Columbia, but taking time to update Canadians on the situation.
Obviously, extremely concerned about the situation in British Columbia right now, and quite frankly, what hundreds of families are going through. Thousands of people affected across the province by these extreme weather events. As a government, we've been liaising closely with the government of British Columbia, providing supports in any way we can, and we will continue to be there. I'm supposed to be speaking with Premier Horgan a little later this evening to make sure that he knows what our ministers have been saying, which is we are there to help in any way, shape, or form we possibly can.
What can you offer?
That's a real priority.
So kudos to Trudeau for what he's doing on this front, but I have to say that a group of Ottawa journalists embarrassed themselves this week with the questions that they decided were the most important to ask not just any MPs, but a group of MPs from British Columbia heading into the Conservative National Caucus. Brad Viss, Ed Fast, and Dan Albus were showing up at the Conservative Caucus when they were asked about Senator Denise Batters getting kicked out. Now, Viss handled it all very well, pushing back and explaining that the only issue that he's interested in talking about was the flooding in British Columbia. He also praised the Trudeau government. He praised Emergency Preparedness Minister Bill Blair for giving them a briefing, telling them what was going on. It was bipartisan efforts going on to ensure that the people of British Columbia have what they need. Do you think that the assembled Ottawa journalists suddenly turned and said, "Oh, you're right, that flooding, that's a real big issue, and you're praising the Trudeau Liberals. That's an interesting thing for a Conservative to do. Let me ask you about any of those things." No, they asked about Senator Batters again and again, and they asked about climate change, and is the flooding caused by climate change? That's the only question they wanted to know about with the flood. These were got-you moments. These were not attempts to tell a real story of what's going on. These were attempts to play gotcha with the Conservative MPs, to, show that they're out of touch with climate change, that they don't really believe it. Is that what was going on? Or asking about Senator Batters even as they're walking away? Come on. There is a time and place for those types of questions, but far too often, journalists that end up working on Parliament Hill live and work in an insular environment where they are detached from what is actually happening on the ground in Canada. Do yourself a favor. Read a newspaper from another part of the country. Watch a local TV newscast. Listen to a radio show from somewhere other than your Ottawa bubble, where far too many of these people drink their own bathwater and regurgitate what they and their friends have been saying on their own shows. This was a sickening display. There's good people in the Ottawa Press Gallery. They do some good work, but this time was a moment for them to hang their heads in shame over not understanding what is clearly a devastating situation on the other side of the country. This wouldn't have happened if it were an Ontario flood or Quebec flood, but because it's outside of their bubble, they just don't care. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below, share this on social media, and of course, subscribe to our channel.